So I was coming up with this whole thing about the private prison system. I might have to go ahead and pull the computer. I found something that I could maybe be passionate about. Because somebody thought that they was like doing something. So let's see what our word is for the day. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I already randomly opened up like 5 minutes ago before I went to get my. I don't know what's wrong, y'all. I was so hungry when I just woke up. I couldn't even. I don't even know what's going on. Okay, I was so hungry, and I went to McDonald's. I was in the driveway. I got finished doing what I was doing for the morning. Was sitting in the driveway. I went in there, got my money. I went to McDonald's. I probably went and got that stuff 5 minutes ago, and I already finished that McGriddle and that hash brown. Like I didn't. I don't think I ate that fast, and I don't know how long. Anyways, I wish I could be eating something else healthier, but that's what's in the budget. But we all know that that's what they want to keep you like sick or eating what you can or whatever like this. Then you can't operate how you need. So, people should have thought about that before they try to take everything from somebody that they never was supposed to touch anything of. Because somebody gonna still be all right. And then people say, "Oh, you so evil" or something like this. Why you? No, this has come with it. Come with the territory. Like these people been playing this game like they the ones the whole time, and they've been doing evil stuff, right? It's just only because we realizing something here that somebody is upset. So what I did was I went ahead and I read. I just skimmed through. This all in the past 10 minutes. I just skimmed through again the water from the rock. Okay, and Moses. Hold on, let me see. Okay, I don't know where I was because then I randomly went where I'm at now, and that's where I want to be. But it was saying something about Moses spoke to God through the rock. I mean, through thunder. Okay. Now, the only thing I can think about thunder, like I said, is like we could have already done this. Okay. But when I think about thunder, because I heard the song Thunderstruck, and I'm like, what? Somebody hit thunder? Now, I know I'm only one person. But if these people were crafty enough to clone me several times and they're using them all over the world for different things, instead of allowing the number one, the real Uno number one son of God to do it, they can be manipulating things. And this is how the biblical text, this is why you got to know. This is why the Gnostic energy is important. Because that could be manipulating the text in a sense, because our enemies are writing in this book. You know, somebody is supposedly writing for God. You got Moses writing in the first 5 books. You see what I'm saying? You have to kind of really be on something, all right, to really be interpreting this instead of just, mimicking some words that you're reading. But I thought that was strange. Why is Moses speaking to God through thunder, and then why did thunder get struck? Who is doing? That's what I said about this sleep manipulation or something here, or these 5G towers are pinging energy while people are sleeping, manipulating the energy, trying to get something. Okay. Why did I feel like this was the first? Because why is the okay? Strike the rock, and the water will flow from it for the people to drink. This also emotional manipulators, I feel like we picking up on. People that like to see people in pain. This could also be, I was thinking about, like, because this is just general. I was thinking about how, Krishan's last name is Rock. And everybody's been kind of looking at this situation, talking about her with this new boyfriend or something like this, looking all happy and everything. Um, there's a sense of duality or something here too. Excuse me. Okay, there's a sense of duality. They're showing you Krishan Rock. This could be talking about one of my clones, one of your clones. You have to keep this in mind too. So they're showing us what Krishan and them. She's just a performer. Somebody in real life is going through a relationship with a new man. They could be captive of this new man or something, or this was a unwilling, or this is trafficking, because again, in America there's no such thing as forced marriages or none of that shit that's in these other countries. I'm starting to think that some of these other countries are closer than we think, or there's large amounts of people from these other countries right here on this one. There's only one continent, and all the work that we did with so-called God or the biblical text, it was keeping something suppressed. Okay. Too much confusion. Okay. We have our law here. Okay. But if there are really, think about all these places over in the Basin, or Bayshawn, or over in the Southwest and things like this. I've only been over there once, and that's when we went to Mount Rushmore. And think about when you're driving down those roads and you're looking at the purple mountains majesty and all the beautiful land and everything, and you seeing these places and you thinking, maybe it's just my mind, how my mind works, but I'm thinking, oh, this is like maybe ancient India or blah blah blah, whatever this is or something. Again, these things are even if it was, it's gone now. What can we believe the dates that's given to us in text and history? I don't think so. But the thing is, we're here now. Okay. So now we have these people that feel like they haven't been able to. We see with other countries what they show us on imagery. Okay. These people are still having fun. They're having festivals, jam packed. Family is deep over there. It's a very cultural experience. All the colors, the clothing and everything. This is how, these things, is how we're seeing it. These people are abundant. They may be, the land and around them might look poor, but they're very abundant. These people be making, when they be having festivals, they got a lot of food. It's just a lot going on in some portions of these lands, allegedly. These are people that was able to stay in their country. Like, say we're talking about Indians. Their culture for thousands of years, their family, nobody took away the food that they ate. They probably still eating the ancient foods and vegetables and cooking them a little bit slightly different, but it probably hasn't changed much from, it's a very rich, that's what we'll say, a very rich culture. So I know that they say they're poor, but very rich. This could also be talking about people that look poor or their lands look dusty, but they're rich in family. They're rich. Now, if there's nations that still built on children being snatched away from their parents, crying and screaming, little girls 8, 9, 10, like this, and going in, something has to be dysfunctional about the shit. But what we're seeing, it seems like it works for these people. Maybe not for the children that were maybe bamboozled by their parents or sold off or something like this, but somehow it works itself out. But that must be very, traumatized. You can't fool me. Okay, so us dealing with Christianity in America and having it so thick and being able to maybe even these people are not being deprived of being themselves, but what you're doing in your cultural experiences that has nothing to do with the level of with something about, it's something about law. Like, say what they're doing, they're hiding the fact that everything is connected on one landmass, is what I'm trying to say. We have old maps where it looks like this. Where so-called black people in America, our culture is lost. All right. But some of these people that don't have a house, or they live in a hut, or they live in something, but they have these abundant families and and this abundant nature. Okay. We don't necessarily have that, but they may look at us living in our apartments, even if it's the projects or something, be like, oh my goodness, these people got it lucky. They got it good or whatever. Like most of America is covered, where civilization is living is covered with some type of buildings or something like this. The only people that are outside may be homeless people, maybe on the streets or something like this, sporadically throughout towns and stuff like this. But most of the nation from east to the west, is kind of filled, well, to the Midwest and a little bit more west, is filled with like civilization, homes, neighborhoods, subdivisions, buildings, all right, apartments, whatever. So I was just thinking, like, it's almost like, because I was saying I'm reading the energy now, okay? Yeah, okay. Everybody was all in love with Krishan and Blueface. I'm reading the energy though. And something on the surface looks really nice with this guy, but something looks very claustrophobic. Something looks very, I can't breathe. Something looks very strange to me on the surface. It ain't none of my bit. But again, these are things that they're putting in our face on social media, so we're talking about it. Now, the people that's on social media, they get mad and they think they know me, or they know who I am, right? Do I think that Krishan and them know who I am, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, or something? These people are tied to this storyline or this situation. Do you understand? So just because somebody got money and do I think that I'm not that special where these people don't know who I am? Do I think that these are some of my oppressors? And do you think that I think that I was a sacrifice for some of these people to be, doing what they're doing for some type of system? Because it doesn't make any sense. Why are you repeating something? If you have somebody on the lowest of the low, poor, whatever like this in another country, show that. Why do you have to create something else to counteract what the reality of this person is, and create somebody else to walks around in the image of that person or in the energy of that person, and then show this person on maybe this person ain't supposed to be on social media, something like this. It's something weird that they're doing here. That's very unnecessary. It's unethical. It's confusing. God is not the author of confusion. And then these energies are also reaching out and abusing us in some type of way. But I know what I'm seeing. I know that there's a masculine energy that's connected to me and connected to a couple of social media girls that everybody know these names, that deal with social media. Do you see what I'm saying? But they're trying to keep me out of the loop, or keep me broke, or keep certain groups or types of women or something like this, America or Americans, without any type of following, support, prayers. Anybody, when people see these people, they gravitate towards them. They worship these idols. They think they praying for them, or doing this and that, or some people send hate towards them, and whatever this is. But they can look online and say, that's me. Some people love me. Somebody want to keep you in a low position or whatever, and have you with this same type of on-site. Like, people are watching you too, from all walks of life, all over the world. Maybe even more people than watching Krishan and these people like this. But you can't go get a security guard when you go to a party. You can't do this. You don't have, people, you don't have a gated home in a community where you have a lock and a burglar alarm and dogs and shit like this to protect you. Somebody is exploiting someone on a massive level, and then that person is not even aware. When you're on YouTube, or when you're on social media, or you're on TV, or you're famous, you can kind of calculate your level of protection by the type of shit that's going on, or you see people saying about you online. Whatever these people is playing with it's the people that don't want to get their fucking hands dirty, right? Like, if you would think about it, if God was on earth, he would have to be at least, or she would have to be at least an elite. The way the energy flows, there's people handling shit, angels, demons. There's people handling shit that I'm not having to touch. There's some people that's thinking, well, why don't you just do it yourself? If you say all this stuff on her, there's a system here. I can't see it. I can't touch it. I can't taste it. I can't feel it. But there's a system here. Right? A closed mouth don't get fed. It's like somebody has the mentality of an elite, but you still trying to make this person, their words carry weight or something too. Somebody already know that somebody is an elite. They're trying to get you to do something like kill somebody or something like this, so you could be under something. They're trying to get somebody to do something heinous or that they could go to jail for or something like this. And then they'll give you the reward that God already said, here, go give this to this person. You understand? So that means that God got something for me. Okay? The government got something for me. People that people that's connected to me, that may have secretly worship. Secret worship is also a very dangerous thing. Could have left things, and somebody is walking around here like with my identity, all right, even if the name is the same or the name is different, and it's almost like this person is married in my name, doing all this, all the things I'm supposed to be doing in my name. Somebody else is going in my name saying they're me and deceiving many companies, many things, many businesses, and taking over things that belong to me. Once somebody gathers all these things, all they have to do is take my name off of it and then put their real name on it or something like this. This could be a form of some type of uh scam, excuse me, some type of financial or other some type of scamming here. um I was thinking about something about organ harvesting and stuff like this, and how this could be also detrimental to this. It's like you're not signed up to be an organ donor, or you don't donate your blood, but people walking around here with your plasma and your blood, and this is shit that costs money. This is stuff, if you didn't have nothing else and you wanted to go, you know how people say, oh, well, I don't got no money, I'm gonna go give sperm, or I'm gonna go get plasma, or I'm gonna go give this, or I'm gonna give blood or something to make a couple extra dollars. They put the bonus on there because, when people's down and out, that's what you're gonna do. So it's always like a disheveling or a putting down of the American people. We're the ones going, and we're the ones that's profitable, we're the ones that's of value. But foreign nations coming in and always putting some stipulations or something like this. And again, it's the most wealth in the world that you could get. And still, for some reason, these people can't use that to create something where they don't have to damage and harm people to gain these things on such a massive level, such a sloppy fucking level, such a sloppy fucking scale. It's your fault that people is catching on about whatever this is. It's nobody. It's not the people that's coming, that using their mind and able to see what the fuck you doing, and they're prophesying or they're giving their testimony. No, it's your sloppy ass doing something and letting all these people into something. We may never get rid of harvesting, but it's skyrocketing. And people that we supposed to trust in higher positions are the ones that are allowing it to spread. Usually there used to be like a small group of people in the family that's wealthy, and they bring the family, they bring the family name up. Okay, there's other people in that family too. There could be poor people in their family. There could be all kind of different kind of people. Everybody ain't up here. Everybody ain't the ones that's making the decisions. Somebody then brought all these people from the bottom without them screwing their heads on properly, and gave them whatever this is. This is they just need to fit. They just need to act like they cared about these people, to get them on their team, to give them something that maybe didn't even belong to them, to give them a boost. Because even if these people is broke, you give somebody $1 million and they broke in 3 weeks, they're always going to be like, yeah, I remember when I didn't have nothing, that person get. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, so there's something about some type of alliances, maybe what I'm trying to say, that's being built here. All right, so we had the word 8. We have the Israelites ate this manna for 40 years until they came to the settled land. All right. They ate manna until they reached the borders of Canaan or Canada or Canaan. Okay. A Gomor. Now we had Gomor come out the other day. Okay. It's 1/10 of the ephah. From the desert of sin, this could be a state of mind. This could be a place right around you. This don't have to be in the desert. It could be in the desert. The desert could just resemble as much information, or the true intel of what's going on is not being. These people don't have to be intelligent, smart. It just has to be widespread. And there's information that people that are. It's like everything's at a standstill, but the criminals are running circles around everybody. So, or harvesters or traffickers or cartel or whatever this is. Okay. So it's kind of like The people could be in the desert. That is the desertous place. Or this could be an inner realm or outer realm or something where people are something is not being produced, or there's a dire situation, or something is hard to come by, or information or the truth about something. People could be like, man, I know what the government's saying, I know what the news is saying, it just feel like we're not getting the truth or something like this, where information is circulating here. But it's still, who did you raise up in the nation? Lower level beings with a lowly state of mind. So you raise them up with money and you still gonna get a lower state of something. It starts eating up to the top. Do you understand? So it starts eating down. If you raise these people to the top with this little money, it's, the fuck is that? It's kind of like eating down. So I'm not even getting north. I'm not even getting east and west. I'm getting like north and south. You know, like a what them little grippy things like we got in the garage. When you want to hold tight to something, I forget what it's called, and you know, twist a little thing around, and I think I put like a geode in there before, and I was trying to break it, and I was trying to break it in half. It's a vice grip, okay? A vice grip, okay? So it's something like this could be going on here, all right? A crash, a crushing, there's a crushing blow. Not even just for one person. This is for a nation here. Everybody's been waiting for it. It's like other nations have been waiting for this crushing blow. Okay? To something. The crown, the nation, something like this here. Here, there is no water for. This could also be news. This could be rural areas that don't have internet or Wi-Fi or something like this. Even though we know we might even be getting the real thing from there. So where is the real information coming from? If it ain't the colleges, if it's not the media, it's not the what? Where's the real information coming? Coming from? And water is some type of nourishment, something that you consume here. Moses gave them water, but why do you quarrel with me? Why do you put the Lord to test? Here then, in their thirst for water, the people grumbled against Moses, saying, why did you ever make us leave Egypt? This could also be a state of mind here. Because sometimes I feel like a lot of people some people could be verging on the state of, do I want to go here? Do I want to go further? Somebody's like, yeah, okay, see that right there? That's what we're talking about. Now, don't you want to just go back and you want to just stop right here? Something that's like, I don't know. I don't think so. I think I want to go over some more. It's something, it's something like, oh, since you're so happy, I think I do want to go over a little bit. I want to take something over, This could also be people was feeling good for a minute. They was running around here doing all this shit or something like this, but they was in a mindset where whatever we're talking about here was not triggering or poking at these people. Now it's like new levels of thinking, even bring in new mental or spiritual or essential, well, not essential, but extraterrestrial vibrations and energies and code and all this other shit here. Okay. And once you start getting on that level, you want to go back. So this is different than, so I know what it feels like to have my Ace of Cups just filled, boom, and have it just be swimming, it just was just splashing around and everything like this. But this is something else here. This is some other kind of feeling here. It's not a refill of the same thing. It's something else that's going on here. So these could be people that wish they would have stayed in a state of mind where they was just like maybe just on that level of like just going to work, doing this and whatever, whatever. Why bring us up to a heightened level, make us feel this and taste money and everything and bring us back down? But see, that's when the nothing steps in. See? Because nobody wanted, just like somebody say, I ain't going back to jail, and then they kill themselves or kill other people or something to get out of Dodge. It's the same, it kind of like is to giving me the same energy here. You can There's no rest, there's no peace, there's no respite, there's no something. It's almost like get into the mountaintop and then hurry up and scurrying back down because you don't want to look over. You did all that work and you don't want to look over. Because as you go up to the summit, something is shifting and changing. Even your blood pressure, your fucking the level or quality of air is changing. Your mindset is changing. Your body, is changing as you're going up. You might start sweating and stuff. You did all that, and you sure you don't want to take a look over? Because once you see over something and you see something, then some people can't handle whatever this is here. Some people could have been enjoying secret parties, things that made them feel special or included in something, the best sex in their life or something like this. And it's like a drug. Somebody keep on scratching. They can't even go back to regular life because they're thinking about these things that they experience or something. This could also be why they brainwash some people, depending on who you are, when you experience certain things. Makes me wonder, when they brainwash you, that's still, the information got to be still in the subconscious or something like this. It didn't go, no, it's just not in your frontal, it's not something that you first thinking about. But like how, see, we're doing the cards right here and we pulling out, and it's like, how do I know that? Well, I know it's God, but there's still functionalities to how we're processing this. Okay? So okay, was it just to have us die here of thirst, okay, or want, or something like this with our children and our livestock, okay, to have somebody in want here? This could also be far away, the outer limits. This could be like, rural, I always have a hard time saying that word, rural areas, okay? This could be people that was used to being like around people in the projects and stuff, and you move them over there to Colorado or over here in the Dakotas or something like this. Everything ain't right there no more. Where these so-called ranchers and shit be here. Or this could be also people that came from Africa or came from other places, and now they sporadically spread through here, but they have to keep a low profile because they own a mission to siphon American energy or whatever, and maybe stay here, okay, get wealthy and stay here, or to go back home or something here. All right, this is like this make me think even about slaves. Why you take us out of slavery? Because Egypt could be like some kind of darkness or servitude as well. Okay. Why we here? This is like somebody saying, when we came across the border, you promised us that we was gonna get this X, Y, and Z. When we came across the border, you promised us this. Now America broke. They was giving us all this money with that. Now they broke. Why you even bring us here? It's hard to get food stamps. It's hard to get a job. It's something like this or whatever. Why you even bring us from our home? Because when you at home, where your culture has been for thousands of years, and that's where you've been living, then you might start missing that. Because you might get here and be like, oh, this shit is crazy. No, this is too hard. Oh, they're not going to give us food stamps no more. They cutting the programs and stuff. Oh, no. Why you even bring us here? You get what I'm saying? It's something like this here. All right. This could also be somebody that was famous or rich, and they were sharing their money with all these people. Now they don't have nothing left. These people didn't produce nothing from what they gave them because they didn't get their mind right first. Somebody knew this shit was going to happen, but somebody could have had a good heart when they started this process. This could also be, like I told you, I wasn't trying to be offensive when I said that, but I bet you what I'm saying is true for a bunch of people. That if this family kidnapped your man or something like this, helped him, told him the secret of your life, helped him get all that money, and then he became special to all these family members, maybe fucking some of them and everything like this, going to these parties or making something fun, thinking that it was going to be even higher lengths than after that. And now everybody look around and they don't have the money. This dude don't have the money. They don't give a fuck about you no more. They break in your house and rob you and kill you because you got, you live on the other side of town in this big house, and you dealing with all these people that don't have. I think I heard somebody say on an interview one time, you can't be, he said, you can't be hanging around, or somebody told somebody, you can't be hanging around me and be broke. I think they said this was Gail, Rachel, girl, bitch, hold on. This is what Oprah said to Gail, and be broke or looking broke. And she gave her some kind of money or something, like as her friend or whatever, to kind of get right or whatever. All right. But I was thinking about, people can't hang around me and be, I don't want broken people around me. You understand? I'd rather somebody be broke, all right, than be broken around me. Broken motherfuckers is dangerous. They already at the step where the flesh, I was hearing somebody saying something like the mind something, but the flesh is already full of sin or something like this. This could also have the mind that God chose to lead a people. Okay? That could be right. But the flesh or the covering or all the other people or the train of people that's following could be fucked up in some of these situations. And this is when you get good people that try to think they doing a good thing, and then they realize when the gun is at their back or the knife is at their throat that, damn, same motherfuckers I was feeding and I was bringing up kindly and I was teaching them the game and I was doing this, guess what they did? But you forgot that one step. And I feel like in this case, somebody did that shit on purpose because they wanted to hurt somebody else. They wanted to be the big man or the big woman. They want to hurt somebody else on the way, along the way. And this then turned around, and that's the same pit. They're hoping that these people would kill you because you talking shit about this person that's giving us money or something like this. And then they thought that this person was going to come kill you. But now that person ended up being the one that got their life taken. So also, I'm getting like holes in different area codes. This is like from some place or whatever going over to do something here. I don't know why I'm getting Washington them. I'm also getting like the New England region. So we're going past, present, and future here. Something could stand back generations. It could also be people was in back in the day when we first moved to Texas, and I incorporated Texas into one of my places I've lived. It's that you would hear, like I will overhear my parents on the phone or people talking and say, yeah, it's so much cheaper down here or whatever. My rent down here for a 2-bedroom is like $525 or something. Up there in Illinois, you get a bedroom, it's like $800 and something or $950. Like talk about the different dynamics and how much the pay is, how much the rent is, or something like this here. So some people could be making it just even coming from the South, where things could be like a lot more chill or slower in some areas. And then they coming up here to the north or something like this. All right. This could be back in the day when people were still sharecropping, or I know my grandma said something like she used to work on like a Navy bean farm or some shit like this. Okay. She had to get on the bus with these people, and there's a documentary about this kind of thing that happened back in the day. But she said she had to get on some bus or whatever. She went north and then came back down this way and that way. And, these was the odd jobs that they was doing, along the way on this little transit thing, like traveling to work or whatever. And it's like a lot of people back when you hear about people start coming from the South and start moving north. And then this could be the people that end up, there's documentaries about this, black people in the ghetto in the 60s and the 50s, the 60s, 70s, things like this. And they're like, oh, we leaving this slavery or whatever. And then they came up here and then they was in the slums. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, shit, we might as well have just stayed down there, where the sharecropper or the master or whoever this is. Just think about it, over the centuries was at least feeding us, whatever like this or whatever. Shit, it was hard work, but damn. It's kind of something, I'm getting something like this here. Like the start of, like, how they talk about Cabrini Green and stuff like this, how it's really bad, and it used to be filthy or whatever before. I think it's torn down now, but you see how some of those people was living back then in the projects and stuff like this, where they was just like, ooh, I got dreams of going to the north, going to the north. And then when they got here, it just, they end up being corralled right back into urban areas or urban projects or something like this, okay? And then there's more responsibilities too. All right. It says, go over there in front of the people, along with some of the elders of Israel, holding in your hand as you go. There could also be some type of paper or document here, because look, we got 5 here, okay? Birthday month, okay? For me, and then we got 1994. We also got 16, okay? 1995, 2017, something like this here too. But I don't know why this is making me think about the image that I showed you. I told you guys, I might put it up in a minute. The image that I have of me, where I told you it looked like some blood or something was leaking out of my hand or something like this, okay? Um, but it's just a glitch in the photo that I was taking, but it's just a strange looking image to me, because in one hand I did have a piece of paper tucked close to my I was in my house, but I had a piece of paper, like an envelope or some paper or something, and I was holding it on my side with my right hand, and my left hand was almost like in this. I'm about to put the image up. If I can find it on here, I'm gonna put it up when I'm done. But the crazy thing is, right in that moment, I'm sitting here looking at myself. Okay, I'm looking at myself, telling one of my children, "Hey, take my phone real quick and take this picture of me." Yeah, and the way that the child took the picture, you could tell a child is sitting down on my couch and taking the picture of me, because I was just trying to get a picture of my full body. I was checking my progress for my weight loss. And I had one of the children take the picture of me. I remember the picture being taken, right? But if I dissect this picture, I'm like, what the? I can't wrap my head around the picture because of the shit that looked weird in the picture. Okay? But this is making me think about that picture. Go in front of the people, along with them, the elders, and hold this in your hand as you go. It's making me also think about Inanna holding those things here. Okay? Also, somebody keeps saying, try to fly. Okay? Holding her two little, the round things that look like, I don't know what those things is that she's, look like, monkey bars or whatever those things is. Where you be at the park, you've got to put your hand in one, put your other hand in the other one, and try to get across. It kind of remind me of one of those things like this, like some kind of tool here. It says, the staff with which you struck the river. All right. So this could this also making me think about somebody. This could make me think about River Phoenix here. All right. I think that boy was a child star. I think he passed away. Okay. Now somebody could be around you that is an offspring of that person. All right. Or me, or whatever this is. Now, this is making me think about the staff. See, we're not even supposed to be right here, but this just got me over here, so we're going to stay right here. Okay? The staff with which you struck the river. So somebody could be looked at as a sacred river or a river energy. And somebody could have used a gang, this staff or this group. Somebody used something here to beat somebody up. You know, this was a golden vassal. That's the last card that the Knight of Cups was the last thing we pulled last night. Okay, the tablets and the 10 commandments or something like this. See, that's what I'm saying. Somebody's trying to how we talk about the energy, like with Kanika's case, it wasn't nationwide. until Dr. Oz or something picked it up. Then it got like, on another level briefly, and then it was kind of like over. Wasn't no world tour, nothing. I think the lady only went on the radio station, is what I seen in Dr. Oz. It didn't make it that far. Okay. Um, how I was saying the chanting of the name and the obsessing over the imagery is fueling something when it comes to like deities and stuff like this, these names or something. Whether that's that person or not, whether that's the name people should have been using to represent whoever could have got harmed that day, could have been somebody with a whole nother name, all this other shit. Okay. There's also something about migration. If somebody had moved someone, if somebody had like cloned you and moved that clone version of you on into another part of the world or the nation or the city or a county or something like this, you may not have known about this separation of a piece of yourself from yourself. All right. And this is the name that they gave this person when they got to that location. If somebody trafficked someone, this could have something to do with trafficking. Again, something to do with trafficking. All right. That's like enslaving somebody or trafficking them and changing their name. Maybe Kanika's name ain't Kanika. You know what I'm saying? It's something else, but that name is too powerful. And so they could have tried to build up the momentum. That's like the last big case of a young girl or a black that really struck a lot of people. But think about how massive it was online, how massive it was on social media, how so many so-called black people were bothered by this. But it don't seem like it was a problem or a thing. You might go to work the next day and ask somebody like, "Ooh, did y'all hear a Caucasian person or a Mexican person? Did y'all hear about that girl Kanika that they found in the freezer?" Like that? No, 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 no. But black people was dissecting that shit from A to B to end, hours and hours and hours of people researching this case and looking at this mysterious footage, that was given to you like a dog's bone. And also dissecting it and looking at it only on a certain level, like, yeah, this or energy harvesting or these people or white people just want or not thinking about other entities or something that could even be coming into this realm or doing something. Like, I don't know, it's weird to me. Okay. um Let's see. Even some of us that's historians and stuff, bringing it back into that element. Okay, to prove the point that there is some similarities or there's a pattern here. But I don't like to stick in history like that. The reason why some people study history and me is two different things. It's like bingo, like A, B, C, D, that bingo. All right, that's it. That's what I needed from it. Now let me think about it with what's going on right now and evaluate it on that level. I don't want to stick there. Because now you find out some of these deities and stuff like this. We're actually experiencing some of this shit right now. We talking about it right now. What they wrote about what these people said, because how the hell did you know what they said? Unless these same beings had the same technology even back then. And again, it's not us then. So-called humanity that's supposed to be living this way. Okay? So something is in charge right now, but it's not the most high. It's not that special. It's just a lot of it. It's just on a mass level. Mass destruction. That's one of my pet peeves. You see? So somebody could have been looked at as a sacred river or some flow or something like this. Okay. This could also be somebody struck. This could be somebody coming. I'm seeing somebody like jabbing somebody. I'm seeing somebody being, I don't know why the phone just cut off like that, like it was dead or something. So this also makes me think about something sexual here. Hold on one second. Something telling me to get this one here. Yeah, okay. Because a river is a source of water or life or water, right? So, can y'all even see? I don't know if you can see. See this person right here? The image of the girl, she's writing something, she's reading journals, she's writing something. Someone could be forcing someone They think the mother's got it, but they can't control the mother. So they think the child got it, and they're forcing this child to learn something or to watch me or something like this instead of respecting the Messiah. You motherfuckers is gonna burn. Oh, girl, let me turn this camera off.